Today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
What we do. Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. A little reminder here. We are the only TV station in town commercial free for the next 15 minutes.
Amazing. We have you covered this morning, including a look at traffic with Joy and, of course, a look at your weather with Jeannette. Good morning, Jeannette.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Back to work, back to school. And it is fantastic this morning. It feels great. Temperatures are pretty cool, 40s and 50s. And the humidity is on the low side with dew points right now in the 40s. Check out how beautiful it looks like across the four zones. Our Raul Beat Rodriguez Law weather camera is showing you just how clear it is. Sunrise in 3 minutes. 45 in Kerrville. Meanwhile, it's 57 here in San Antonio, 53 in Gonzales. Uvalde waking up to 54 degrees. We'll keep it in the 50s during the 7 a.m. hour, and then we're going to warm things up. Low 80s at noon. This afternoon, climbing to the low 90s. Tomorrow, triple-digit heat. It's going to get very hot here. In fact, record heat for at least 3 straight days. We'll take a look at your extended forecast zone by zone coming up in under 10 minutes.
All right, we now have about a 5-minute delay behind that crash we were tracking on the north side of San Antonio, the westbound lanes of I-10, just inside Loop 410. This has been blocking 2 lanes. However, at last check, when we had a live picture over that area, we did see that car being loaded up onto a tow truck. We also saw the driver, who seemed to be doing okay. Let's check in now with David Mendoza. Once again, he was the one bringing us that picture from your South Texas Ford dealer, Sky 4.
He was also saying that...
David, can you hear me? Nah, maybe not. All right, well, David, can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm over 410 and 151 right now, getting a look at things. Nothing too bad. We're seeing cars moving, but yeah, kind of by surprise there, but I'll keep you updated with what else I see. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. We appreciate it. We'll check in again soon with your on-time traffic.
All right, guys, thank you. The U.S. and China agreeing this morning. This is the big story of the morning. They have agreed to a big-time rollback on tariffs on each other's products, at least for the next 90 days. They've been working on a deal all weekend in Switzerland. So here's what's going to happen. By Wednesday, the U.S. will temporarily lower its tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% down to 30%. China will drop its tax on American goods from 125% down to just 10%.
So we do expect a 10% baseline tariff to be in place for the foreseeable future. But don't buy the silly arguments that the U.S. consumer pays. Businesses, their job is to try to sell to the American consumer.
So that was Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick on CNN Sunday announcing that the baseline 10% tariffs will stick around. You heard him say that. The president set the global baseline tariff in April, with some countries subjected to higher reciprocal tariffs. And while those higher levels were later suspended, the baseline stayed in place. The U.S. did reach a deal with the UK last week. The United States lowering some duties on British goods, but did keep in place a 10% tariff. Well, other news, if you're on Medicare, the cost of prescription meds could be coming down. The president also close to a deal which could help millions of Americans.
News 4 San Antonio's Tawny Davis is live with the details and what this means for your medication costs. Good morning, Tawny.
Good morning. Today, President Trump says he will sign an executive order directing the Health and Human Services Department to set prescription drug prices to match the lowest offered by other countries. The proposal would cover only certain drugs covered by Medicare and given in a doctor's office, like cancer infusions or other injections. The savings also tie into prices paid by countries in what President Trump calls most favored nations group. If this is implemented, the president says drug prices could be cut as much as 80%. This directive also comes as the administration is also looking to impose tariffs on pharmaceutical imports. The tariffs could exacerbate shortages of certain drugs, mostly generic medicines, and eventually raise prices. Now, President Trump did attempt a similar rule during his first term, but wasn't able to enact it. The move could face some major opposition by the pharmaceutical companies. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
Making headlines, a new federal rule should make it easier to cancel a subscription. Now, in recent years, there have been tens of thousands of complaints. If it passes, it could go into effect mid-July. It's tough for certain companies to cancel certain subscriptions.
Well, the Trump administration is set to accept a luxury plane for the Qatari royal family. So President Trump announcing that deal yesterday, calling it a gift free of charge. The Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet will be retrofitted. It will be used as Air Force One until the president leaves office. The Democrats call it, quote, Trump's latest grift. Others have called it a, quote, stain on the administration.
The White House says their cuts to DEI programs across the federal government have saved Americans a lot of money. A new report released by the White House shows $2.3 billion worth of savings from cutting diversity, equity, and inclusion offices across the federal government. The biggest savings came from the Department of Education, where cuts to DEI programs, contracts, and grants totaled nearly $800 million. Cuts to DEI have resulted in the loss of hundreds of federal jobs. In all, 745 DEI employees are on leave. 134 DEI employees either retired or resigned.
Dismantling decades of civil rights progress, upending livelihoods, incomes, and lives, and adversely affecting something they claim to care about, the GDP. Because all data supports that diversity, equity, and inclusion is actually good business.
DEI seeks to divide and pit Americans against each other based on immutable characteristics. President Trump put an end to it.
Many companies followed the White House's lead, rolling back their own DEI programs.
Well, we're less than 15 minutes now from 7 a.m. Several colleges facing backlash for holding special graduation ceremonies for students who are undocumented. They're being called undocu graduation ceremonies. In one case, California State University Long Beach held a Beyond Borders graduation ceremony. The university called it a celebration of resilience. Not everyone, though, is happy.
I think it's a slap in the face to those students who did the hard work, did the responsible thing, did all the paperwork and obtained those F1 visas. And of course, it's a slap in the face to all law-abiding students. It's also undermining the rule of law in this country.
California State Long Beach, though, says this year's graduates have overcome adversity and they have defied the odds.
The Department of Homeland Security has released body cam footage of the arrest of the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, outside of an ICE detention facility. In the footage, you can see physical altercations between federal agents, protesters, and members of Congress. Witnesses said the arrest came after the mayor tried and several members of Congress tried to tour the facility. DHS said the congressional members broke into the detention center. The mayor is now facing trespassing charges, which he says he'll fight in court.
Some new hit and run stories this morning to talk about. Police are looking for the driver involved in a hit and run that left one man in the hospital. This was about 10 o'clock last night near Blanco and Pasadena Street. Police say a 61-year-old man was crossing the street. He was hit by an SUV. Again, the driver took off. The man, the victim, is in critical condition this morning. There was another one on the west side. This was also last night. This was about 11 o'clock along South General McMullen and West Commerce. Police say that a man was crossing the street. He was hit by a truck. He is also in critical condition.
Right now, an Amber Alert has been issued for two children near Austin. Pflugerville police are looking for 15-year-old Dayla Diaz and 11-month-old Christopher Roman. Dayla was last seen wearing a black dress and white tennis shoes. Christopher was last seen wearing all gray clothing and blue shoes. If you have any information, please call 911.
Also, San Antonio police are looking for a teenager who shot a woman on the west side. Police say that a 19-year-old showed up to a home near San Felipe and San Judas to confront another girl. That girl's brother, though, a 17-year-old, fired a gun. The bullets hit the ground, then ricocheted off, and they hit a woman standing by. We are told she should be okay, but the 17-year-old took off running, and he is still on the loose this morning.
We now know the name of the teen who was killed outside a men's club. On Saturday, police say 19-year-old Trey Williams was found dead in front of the Palace nightclub near 410 and Quail Circle. Investigators are still working to determine what led up to the shooting, but police do have a suspect in custody this morning.
Also, a man is recovering after escaping from a house fire downtown. This was all about 3 a.m. yesterday morning. Crews responding to a major fire there at the corner of MLK and South Pine. Crews found heavy smoke, flames shooting from the home. No word what caused that fire. Oh, it is a big night for the San Antonio Spurs, who will once again try to catch lightning in a bottle. It is lottery night tonight. The Spurs have not one, but two potential shots at landing the overall #1 pick.
I think we have a good shot. The Spurs are always lucky, I think.
They have been lucky in the past.
News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon joins us now with more on what is expected and the odds of getting another excellent pick. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Marissa. Good morning, everyone. You know, it's hard to say if we could get another phenom like Wemby, but statistically speaking, it's not really a good chance, but we still have a chance. We've got two chances here. According to ESPN, the Spurs say we've got a 6% chance of landing that #1 pick and a 26% chance of landing within the top 4. So that's pretty good. The Spurs have 2 draft picks tonight in the lottery, with the second coming out of a trade deal with Atlanta for DeJounte Murray. And the Rube Pub Sports Bar off 281 near Redland Road is once again offering to pay for all open tabs if the Spurs secure that #1 pick. They did this back in 2023. You may remember the Spurs landed a little-known guy named Victor Wembanyama, and that worked out pretty well for us. Now, the draft lottery starts at 6 p.m. tonight, and Rue encourages everyone to arrive early to claim your seats. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, it all starts tonight at 6 p.m., and we will be watching very carefully. Reporting live, I'm Christina De Leon. Go Spurs, go. We will send it back to you.
Exciting.
Yes.
So exciting. Of course, Spurs fans already know that you can beat the odds.
Yeah, they've won it 3 times. David, Tim, and Wemby. They have altered the trajectory of this team forever, and they're going to change things up a little bit this time. So their good luck charm will be different. It's been one of the Holts over the years, but now new head coach Mitch Johnson will be on the podium representing the Spurs tonight. They're kind of looking to increase his national profile. He's the guy now. He's not just the guy who is sort of holding the seat waiting for Pop to come back.
The odds say the Spurs will come away with the 8th pick and the 14th that they get from Atlanta. But there is a chance. It's actually a 26% chance of moving into the top 4, but only a 6% chance to win the #1 overall pick. For reference, the Silver and Black had a 21% chance when they won the rights to Tim Duncan in 1997 and a 14% chance when they got Wemby 2 years ago. So they've beaten the odds before.
You're saying there's a chance. Who are they going to get? Who's the big prize with the #1 pick? It is Duke freshman Cooper Flagg. He is a 18-year-old. He really should just be graduating from high school this year. He is an absolute stud. He's 6'9". He does just about everything. Led him to the Final Four. Was the National Player of the Year, and apparently he can dunk a lot. He's good.
6'9". Shouldn't you just be dunking all day long?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. They have other guys that can dunk too, but he's fun to watch. So we'll see. Be amazing if he came here.
So he's actually entering the draft, or in the draft, because remember they were wondering before whether he was going to or not.
There was thoughts like, because Washington, I believe, has the best odds, and he was like, or I don't know if he was, but a lot of people were like, well, you don't want to go to Washington.
Right, right.
You ask any of the experts, and they say the best spot would be for him to be here.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
What's funny is you could actually ask him or all those Spurs players, how's the weather up there? You know,
sometimes it could be different, right? All right, here we go. Cool, crisp, refreshing this morning. It feels fantastic. Temperatures are starting off in the 50s. It is going to be heating up this afternoon, but today is the coolest day of the week with afternoon highs in the low 90s. Triple digits for the rest of the week, talking record heat. Oh, before I continue, shout out to the Kellys, Mr. and Mrs. Shane Kelly and their son Cooper Kelly. I was told they watch us every morning to get their news, weather, and traffic as they get ready for work and school. So thank you for watching, and we love to hear from our viewers. All right, Ozone Action Day, air quality alerts, heads up due to high levels of ozone pollution getting down to the surface today because the air is going to be pretty stagnant. Make sure that you limit time outside. There is a storm system that is moving away from Texas. By the way, that is the area of low pressure that did help to produce a little rain here Friday and Saturday, mostly Saturday though. But it's been pulling away, and you can see the rain right now across the deep south, even into portions of the Tennessee Valley and slowly approaching the Ohio Valley. The rest of the plain states and down towards the southwest dry. Meanwhile, across the Pacific Northwest, there's a storm approaching. Hence, you can see some rain along the coast and snow across the higher elevations of northern California and into Oregon. This is the setup in the upper levels. We have this ridge that's going to be moving in from the west, and this is the weather maker that will keep any storm system from entering Texas, and this will bring us that very hot weather pattern. We're going to get into the triple digits tomorrow, and it looks like we're going to be right around 100 degrees through at least early next week. Very pleasant this morning, 50s over the next hour. Then we're going to warm things up. We'll get to the low 80s at noon. This afternoon, we'll climb to the low 90s, which is just a little above where we should be this time of the year. Western zone, upper 90s, low 90s in the hill country and the eastern zone. Normal highs 86. Tomorrow, 64 in the morning, which is seasonable, and then getting up to 102. Nowhere near the record for the day today. Record is 101, but tomorrow's record is 98, set back in 2009. Wednesday's record is 97 from 2002. Wednesday is the hottest day of the week with a high up to 105. Thursday, high of 103. Friday into the weekend, 99 to 100 degrees, and by then, just a 10% rain chance. Here's the extended forecast for the other three zones near 110 in the western zone Tuesday and Wednesday. Hill country also getting to the triple digits beginning tomorrow. Eastern zone, rain-free, right around 100 degrees there through at least the weekend ahead.
Still seeing some traffic delays here on the north side after a crash in the westbound lanes of I-10 just inside Loop 410, causing about a 5-minute delay right now. 2 lanes were blocked off because of that. They were making quick work, though, to get it cleaned out. It looked like the driver was okay. We saw her walking around, and they got the tow truck out there very, very quickly. So hopefully this won't be a problem soon, but as of right now, still seeing the effects. That's the only issue we've seen so far today. The rest of San Antonio, traffic has been very light. No other major lane closures to be aware of. We'll continue to check in right here every morning with your on-time traffic.
Well, get ready, Tejano fans. This weekend is the 43rd annual Tejano Cajunto Festival. 3 days of performances kick off this Friday. It runs through Sunday at Rosedale Park on the west side. We have all festival and ticket information on news4sa.com. That's the best part of San Antonio. It feels like, you know, it's like Fiesta's over, Mother's Day's in, and you're like, well, there's nothing to do until 4th of July. It's like, no, there is a party, it seems like, every single weekend. 100%. Yeah. Someplace downtown, or just go to the Pearl, have something to eat, have a coffee. Wonderful. And a nice day to do it. Yes, yeah, before the heat starts. Yeah. Even then, it's fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you at noon. Say it every day. Today is a gift. Make it count. Wow, gorgeous sunrise. Happy Monday, everybody.